In an effort to actually become a better ball tosser, Victor Oladipo pulled out all the stops at yesterday's slam dunk contest with a little help from Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman. During his first attempt, Oladipo struggled. He needed all of his attempts to try throwing down a no-look attempt, but he couldn't get that to fall. But seeing as he was failing and knowing he needed a big score to make it to the finals, he did something so idiotic that it borders on unbelievable and makes you ask if he was paid by Disney to do this. He actually broke out the star of the movie of the moment, donning a Black Panther mask given to him by Boseman. The two shared a moment on the sideline showing their Panther pride or whatever it was they did, and then Oladipo proceeded to put on the mask and got down to business. He initially missed the first dunk attempt, but the second one went down. It was a nice hesitation move on the dunk, essentially switching from a tomahawk to a windmill in midair. What makes all this even dumber is that it's not easy to dunk wearing a mask, any mask. It did look cool, but Oladipo didn't do well enough to get into the final. Maybe he should have worn a Spider-Man mask instead. He made a complete and utter fool out of himself. Via Indy cornrows, things didn't go too well for Victor Oladipo in the slam dunk contests, with him being eliminated in the first round. Oladipo's first dunk featured a 180 reverse where he didn't look at the rim as he dunked it. Unfortunately, Oladipo missed all three attempts, leaving him at a disadvantage heading into the second dunk. The TNT crew was impressed with the degree of difficulty that went into the dunk, but the lack of execution kept him at just 31 points. For his second dunk, Oladipo pulled out the props by putting on Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther mask. He again missed his first attempt, a tomahawk into a windmill, but did make the second dunk. He handicapped himself by wearing a mask of a made-up comic book character whose new movie depicts all of the bad guys as being white males. Kind of like Star Wars The Last Jedi did last year, and all they got from that is that the movie is being coined as one of the worst, if not the worst Star Wars of all time. Thanks, Disney. The letter Michael B. Jordan wrote to Essence when threatened by a boycott because he was rumored to believe in All Lives Matter. Michael B. Jordan is refuting reports that he sent a Snapchat to fans saying he believes all lives matter. In an open letter given exclusively to Essence.com, the Creed star says he is, and has always been, a strong supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement. Jordan, who just announced plans to play African-American attorney and Equal Justice Initiative founder Brian Stevenson in the film adaptation of his memoir, Just Mercy, is also elaborating on controversial remarks he made about race in Hollywood in a GQ interview where he said he wanted roles that were written for white characters. Read his letter below. I have been a professional actor for most of my life, but being regarded as a leading man is new to me and has taken some getting used to. Recently I had the opportunity to be featured on the cover of one of my favorite magazines. In the interview, several points that I shared were communicated in ways that do not reflect my true feelings and opinions. In addition, there were reports written about me elsewhere that simply aren't true. I'd like to set the record straight. First and foremost, I believe that Black Lives Matter, unequivocally and without exception. I have never said, written, Snapchatted, tweeted, Instagrammed or implied anything to the contrary. Any report that states otherwise is a complete fabrication. I portrayed Oscar Grant in my first leading role in a feature film, Fruitvale Station. I am a founding member of the Blackout for Human Rights Network. I gave a speech just a few months ago on the importance of the Black Lives Matter movement at the BET Awards. It is frustrating to see a false claim stirred up on social media which has caused my supporters to question where I stand on this crucial issue. But I am confident that my history and continued engagement with my community will speak louder than unfounded rumors. Secondly, it is challenging to have a nuanced conversation about race and Hollywood, period. This sensitive subject becomes even more complicated when you're dealing with sound bites and articles. A simple idea or opinion can be abbreviated and distorted as it is communicated to readers out of context. Allow me to be clear about my ideas on roles traditionally reserved for white actors. My goal is for my choices and opportunities, as well as those of my fellow actors and actresses of color, to be predicated on our talent, ability and passion and not on false notions of what color an artist must be to play certain roles. I've had the honor to portray black characters written and directed by black filmmakers, a privilege that too few actors of color enjoy because of the challenges of black artistry and access behind the camera. But in addition to those wonderful roles, I also want to have the option to play all kinds of parts with no door closed to actors and actresses like myself. Lastly, my fans who are women mean the world to me. This is especially true of black women, who as a group have supported my work long before the industry knew my name. I deeply regret and I'm ashamed that I said anything to disappoint or disparage them. I apologize with my whole heart for referring to women in the way that I did. The word female used in the manner that I did is dismissive and strips women of their humanity. It is a slang term that guys sometimes use to sound slick and cool coming up. But words have power, and I realize now more than ever that this careless language is dehumanizing, inappropriate, and immature. I'm a better man than that. This reference to women will not come out of my mouth publicly or in private again. In all, although some of what I said was taken out of context, I take responsibility for the interview and I apologize for the hurt and confusion it has caused. This has been an important lesson for me. I humbly ask my fans to grow with me, as I learn more about myself and this industry. Thank you. From the web powered by Zergnet. Awkward Olympics wardrobe malfunctions. You can't unsee the real reason you don't hear about Leanne Rimes anymore. The truth about Chip Gaines. This figure skating move was too provocative for the Olympics. Here's what you didn't know about Megyn Kelly. Olympic figure skater handles wardrobe malfunction perfectly.